something happened in the last 2 days that made these stocks go through the roof. I guess a lot of people are either going back to the movie theaters or buying a lot of video games. Is that what's happening? So this hedge fund that was worth a couple billions of dollars lost a few billions of dollars in value because of a group of people, normal people, on a message board that decided to buy the stock. Now there's all kind we can go in 50 directions from here, but I think that's the most simply like what's going
Hmm.
on right now, Ronan, right? That's the story.
Basically, we're seeing a zero-sum game. Okay, guys, it's a zero-sum game, and it's a very cruel, very zero-sum game. It means actually that if a little guy earns $1, then another player, and this time it's the hedge fund manager or owner, loses this dollar. It's one on the expense of the other,
Okay.
100%, one on the expense of the other. There's only winners and losers. You can't win together, you can't lose together in this game. This is a very cruel game. Usually, the setup of the forces is that you have the little guy against the Wall Street elites. You have the individual investors against the hedge fund managers. And guess who wins like 99.99% of the time? Who wins, guys?
Wall
The
Street
the
hedge
the
fund
the
investors.
the, the
Yeah,
big
Everest.
guys. Yeah.
Of course, the financial machine itself is considered to be one of the largest instruments of conveying wealth from the common people to small elite individuals that run the systems. That's like its basic role of just transferring wealth from us, from the little guy, to the elites and so forth. And what's so unique about this GameStop company and AMC and others is that this time it's the other way around.
I
It's
generally
it's
understand that people who have a lot of money, they buy stocks, and they play these games, they basically gamble in the stock market, and they make more money from what they already have. So in this case, I understand that a group of people, just normal people who are not big investors, they decided to collectively buy the stocks together, and that went against some betting, that some bet from some hedge fund manager. Why wasn't it that done before? I'm asking myself. What's the why is this so new?
it's all related to the opportunity that the COVID-19 virus has given everybody to readjust and to revalue their former way of living, because it didn't happen before, because those guys, those individuals, small private investors, were busy living their life, working, making ends meet, and so forth. They were not open, even they were not aware of their collective strength. And now those guys are on Robinhood and other platforms, and they are working together. They are finding joy in cooperating, especially when you have a common enemy. These guys, the little guys, they are all on Reddit. It's a forum called Wall Street Bets, and they all,
Mm-hmm.
they meme each other and so forth. These guys were looking for an opportunity, for an opening to do their bid, and they have found it in GameStop and AMC and other companies, which the stocks themselves were heavily shorted. I mean, those Wall Street elites, those hedge fund managers, they profit from the if a certain stock like GameStop is actually downwards, and even dramatically downwards in price. Let's remember that GameStop is a company. It has more than 15,000 employees. It's a real business. It's not just like a stock. Behind the stock, there's a company. And those hedge fund managers wanted to drive them to destruction, to bankruptcy, basically. So now the little guys suddenly understand, they become aware of their collective power. And they were looking for an opening, for an opportunity. And the opportunity
Okay.
presented itself as GameStop.
Okay. Okay.
And they
Okay.
they
So
totally changed the balance of power. You can analyze it as a financial phenomenon, which is okay to analyze, and you can go deeper and said, what are the forces, what are the motives, and what does it reflect on us and on the system itself.
not as a financial expert, what I hear is like, oh, the little guys are finally winning. It sounds great. You know, finally there's like the little guys are beating the big guys in their own game. That's kind of how it feels like. It's kind of makes you feel a little bit nice inside. No, I don't know.
Listen, basically, it's true. I mean, when you look at revolutions throughout history, okay, and this is also a revolution without the violence, maybe, but it's actually a revolution. If you look at revolutions before throughout history, it took a while and even centuries before the common people developed a mutual conscience. You know, like saying, listen, we are in the same spot, in the same situation, and we have the ability to change something only if we unite around an idea and act together. Okay, this is even Karl Marx. Sorry for mentioning the forbidden name here. Yeah, even Karl Marx talked about it in his Capital book, The Capital, that it will take a while until the working class will understand the situation, that he has the
Right.
power,
Right.
he has the mutual interest to act.
Sorry for bringing up Karl Marx again, but what was it interesting? One of the interesting things in Karl Marx's theory was that people will develop some sort of a, he didn't say these words, but collective consciousness. He was essentially talking about the working class developing some sort of a shared understanding about their status, about their situation and conditions, and a recognition that they can collectively do something together. Now, we're not Marxists, and of course, this is not where we're going with this, but that was something that was very appealing to people who are interested in Karl Marx's idea. What we need today, I would say, is the broadest kind of collective awakening, collective awareness. We need to recognize that what we're talking about right now, that whether you're on the winning side right now or on the losing side right now, we're all interdependent in this game. And once we become collectively aware of that, once we recognize, oh, my well-being depends on the other person's well-being, and I could be in the other person's shoes, you know, if I play that game long enough or given a different set of conditions. So we got to take care of everyone's conditions. You know what I mean? There's a collective awakening of interdependence that's missing here.
So we all have been playing a zero-sum game to some extent in our lives in each and every area for many, many years, for decades. And now comes the new integral global world, which we are all interdependent. And we don't know the new game, what game to play. We only know one game, which is a zero-sum game. And you can see it in the stock exchange, you can see it in the economy, you can see it in all areas of life. Sometimes it's more obvious, sometimes it's just in the background, but basically that's the way things are happening and has been happening for many, many decades. And I'm not sure that we are aware of the new laws, of the new circumstances which actually will determine basically if we can adjust to the new laws or just keep on banging each other head and lose together eventually. Because if you keep on playing a zero-sum game in a world that has changed, then it's actually a suicide mission.